No. I want to go to the main group folder so that this action will be available across all the sublayers. In this case, I only have 2 sublayers, but when you're making more complicated characters, you could have anywhere from 30 to 50 more layers, depending on how technical and how much detail you have in your character. So I click on the top Actions folder. I'm going to create my front view action here. And I don't really need to do any work here because, all right, let me just create my visual cue. Because it's already set to front view, but you have to set a keyframe for it. So I'm going to do that right now. You can select all the shapes, or just click on frame 1 and say Add Keyframe. And there you go. And that's the point motion property. Okay, so all right. Now let's go back to the main line, and now we can start applying these 2 actions that we've just created. And what they're going to do is basically make changes to the existing shapes that we have here, these 2 layers. I didn't really make any changes on the face layer with either of those 2 actions, but I could have. And we'll probably do that later. Okay, so the first view on frame 1, I'm going to right-click the 3/4 view and say Insert Reference. And there, the face turned, facing 3/4 view to the left. Now I'm going to click on the front view and insert a reference. Now you can see it switched back to the front view. Then we're going to go to frame 60, switch it back to 3/4 view, and then we'll go to frame 72, switch it back to front view. Now, and see, this is why I created that key on that layer, translation layer, on the group folder. So it shows me that I've created a keyframe here, 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 and here. And these are all actions. And as you can see, it's already Anime Studio automatically morphs between the 2 states. The nice thing is you can create automatically a keyframe from any of these middle states and create a new action out of that. So I could create an action between the 3/4 and front view easily, with no work really, because Anime Studio did all the morphing for me. So you can see how this is a really powerful feature where if you're looking to do head turns, you can just apply them over and over and over again, assuming you have a nice library. Like we could have had a 3/4 view facing left, 3/4 view facing right, side view left, side view right, and you can create any number of infinite combinations of angles in between with the morphs that Anime Studio creates for you. And these are perfectly on-model morphs. And they're easy to apply. Just a click of a button and you've got your head turn. Of course, you have to do a little bit of work setting it up in the beginning, but once you've done that, it's there in your library forever, and you can keep using it over and over and over again. Now, another powerful thing about actions is that, let's see, I'm going to go into 3/4 view. If you make any changes to an existing action, it's going to make all of those changes on the main timeline wherever you've applied that action. So in this case, I'm going to give this character a little bit of a smiley type expression here. Okay, and let's go back to the main line. And there, you can see it automatically made the adjustment, and wherever I've applied that 3/4 view reference, it creates a change. It changes it globally along the timeline for all references of that particular 3/4 view in this case. All right, now I'm going to talk about what makes Actions so cool. This is the one feature about Actions that makes it unique from all of the other tools that Anime Studio has to offer, in that Actions can, a single action can control all of its sublayers. And technically, you can control all the layers in your project if you wanted to. So I'm going to try to show what I mean by this. Okay, in this case, we have an eyes and mouth vector layer, and we have a face vector layer. And I'm going to add 2 ears. Make sure my cursor is on frame 0. Oops. Call this left ear. And I'll call the other one right ear. Alright, now we have 4 vector layers in our project so far. And like I said, the more complicated your character gets, the more likely you're going to have a huge number of layers to deal with. And this is why Actions become so useful. If you were to do this if you were just to do straight point motion, you'd have to go to every single individual layer to adjust it into a certain position or angle or mouth phenome or emotion. And with 4 layers it's manageable, but if you had to do it with 20 layers, you're going to start to run into problems. So Actions is really specially designed for a situation like that. Okay, so let me draw my left ear. And then I'm going to select the right ear vector layer, and I'll draw my right ear. In fact, it might help if I just draw these a little bit bigger. Because what I want you to see is the ears overlapping the face here. Okay. Alright, now another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bone layer as a sublayer to this Actions folder, because